Hello and welcome to Business Spotlight. I'm joined today by Elfverson. Welcome to the call.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Well, I'm looking forward to this conversation, because I know that you are the director and the founder of EyeStorm Women. So tell us a little bit about what that project is all about.
Absolutely. It used to be a program, actually. So I've been in the film and video business for many, many years. And I started my business, the Vlog Academy, about 15 years ago. And I used to offer training courses in video blogging. So I would have corporate groups in London or somewhere from big, big companies, City of London, who wanted to enhance their video skills and communicating via video more than anything. And when it came to getting in front of the camera, grab a microphone, give it a go, and just talk on camera in mixed groups, I very quickly noticed that all the men would step forward and all the women would take a step back and almost wanting to melt into the wall. And this was at a level where they had the same education, same experience, same titles, if you like. They did the same thing, but there was a significant difference in their confidence when it came to be visible and speaking on camera. So it became a pattern. I saw it again and again and again. And I was thinking, if it's like this at this level, what's it going to be like in the rest of the country and the world? So I decided to do a program just for women, which was to be a little bit more holistic. So working on a deeper level with blocks and fears and just allowing women to have a safe space to practice going on camera and hearing themselves, seeing themselves and accepting themselves.
Mm.
And that was called EyeStorm.
Right. Okay.
So that's how it started.
Yeah. Well, I mean, incredibly interesting and very perceptive of you to pick those kind of traits out in these women. How did you manage to encourage them to engage? And if they're already naturally kind of withdrawn and not wishing perhaps to put themselves forward, the very first obstacle, I guess, you've got to overcome is that encouragement to engage in the program. What sort of first steps?
Absolutely.
How did you encourage them to do that?
So I started with my local community that I already had, and obviously the list I had already, who had been engaged in vlogging and
Mm.
really social media practices and learning more how to get more visible online with their brands and
Yeah.
businesses. So I did some trials with the courses. I'm not a therapist. I'm not, I didn't see myself even as a coach.
Yeah.
But luckily, it seems like I got it and I understood what they needed. So I could offer a training that took it with small steps.
Mm.
So that people, starting with the people who knew that they needed to go online to make an income, basically, to be able to run their businesses, but they
Yeah.
didn't know how to create a video and they felt really nervous about being on camera. So the practice is really vital.
Yeah.
So to feel that you have that support and also very gentle feedback
Mm.
and not going personal. We're not talking about their looks or their hair or their noses or anything like that. It
Yeah.
is looking about the connection. And once people in general, not just women, connect with what they're passionate about and their topic that they know more about, all of a sudden it starts flowing and sounding. It's a very modern trend word, but it starts being
Yeah.
authentic. And that's the key to everything we do.
I think there's an element that you've touched on there. It's just quite interesting that there seem to be two parts to your approach. There's the practical, this is what we're going to teach you to do, and this is how you do it. And then there's the kind of psychological aspects where you're asking questions of people and what it is that they want to achieve and how they want to go about it. And I think questioning is a really powerful coaching tool, isn't it? Because when people answer the questions in their minds, they suddenly realize, well, there is no reason why I can't do a video or why I can't do that. Is that something that you've found has become increasingly part of your interaction with these women?
Yeah, absolutely. All of that. I think it's the confidence of knowing that you're not alone,
Yeah.
confidence knowing that it's doable. Like many things, we can, if it's just a skill, we can learn to do it in many cases, right? And then some people are more gifted in more complex matter. We can't all become brain surgeons, but if it's to repair a bike, if we just practice long enough, we would get our head around that, right? So the whole social media part and all of that, it's a massive package that scares people. And then when they realize that, okay, I know how to set up the camera, I know I need a microphone, I know that there has to be light and I'm looking good, that brings a bit more confidence out. And then when they understand how to structure their content, their expertise, if you like, to get focus on what comes easiest for them. Don't start with the most complex, scientific part. Start with really short, inspiring content. And then when they've done that and they realize like, oh, that went well, and suddenly they put it out in public even, wow, and they get 1,000 views on a reel or 2,000 or more. That's what you need to stretch that comfort zone bit by bit, so you have the rewarding, even if you have a small group and the other people in that group says, wow, that's really good, I didn't know that, completely disregarding what you look like or what you sound like. Then you realize that, oh, they're actually listening to me as an expert. They're not looking at me or judging me. And that can be really, really powerful.
Now you've started to answer my next question there, so I'm going to dig into this a little bit more. So I guess once the videos are produced, the content's produced, that's your expected outcome from the engagement. And then you've started to hint at people's confidence building and recognizing other things and perhaps taking themselves a little bit further. That may be an unexpected outcome of the engagement. Are there any other unexpected outcomes that you have seen, either in terms of the people that you've worked with or what they've managed to produce as a result of, doing this?
We see so much. And I just need to go back and continue answering your first question, actually, because what is EyeStorm now? EyeStorm has grown to a community with workshops and events and a podcast and a speaker program as well. So we kind of starting to cover more bases.
So you've got your own unexpected outcomes from the original.
I got my own unexpected outcome. And what we've seen more than anything from the speaker program is what an incredible impact it has had for the women who participated in that. So they done an 8-week or so training program online, and we've done a workshop. Then they get on stage and they get to deliver a talk, which is recorded in front of a very safe audience. And that is such an incredible boost for them once they've done that. And all of them have just crushed it. They nailed it, right? No one has pulled out and cried and said, I don't do this, I'm not going to come. There have been tears, believe me. But once they've done that, the things they've gone on to do, that's when you see the real impact it has. They've applied for 7 of them applied for TED Talks after,
Wow.
they've gone on to do podcasts. They've started their own programs. They opened up community interest CICs. They've gone on to become board members. They've applied for funding and got funding for their projects. So it has had a fantastic avalanche of positive outcomes that they more or less all of them claim that it would not have happened at all if they hadn't done the training. Some say it might have happened, but it would have taken much longer time.
You've accelerated something perhaps for some of them that was already there and ignited something in others.
Yes.
I mean, that's a fascinating illustration that you've given them, and it's really uplifting. I guess it comes with the downside, which is it must increase your own frustration about how many women there are out there that perhaps could be involved in in a program like this. And it's great to see what you're achieving, but I guess it also shines a light on what a big problem this may be for some people, their self-confidence, their self-worth, those sort of things. How do you see the program developing over time and perhaps expanding and reaching more people?
So we have just started tapping into the next level of this, which is complex. So we know we can do the training of business women or women who want to just step forward, who know they need to do it.
Yeah.
And that's been incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
But what EyeStorm Women is all about now, and it's a little bit like opening up a can of worm. And I think we're becoming more and more really at the moment aware of what is happening for women around the world, and that there is discrimination. And for EyeStorm, we're not necessarily talking about gender equality in the UK that much anymore, because it's not that it's done, absolutely not, but there are so many things going on underneath the laws of gender equality, right?
Yeah.
Which is based on tradition, culture, religion, and just bad habits, bias, stereotypes.
Learned behaviors as well, particularly in men, that they've learned from their own parents and environments as well. Yeah,
absolutely.
all of those.
And this is actually the real issue. So we are trying to put out positive information that we can ensure that we are addressing those matters, rather than talking about gender equality on a, pay parity. Yes, we want that, but that's on a different level. But what we now notice is that when we want to work and invite people, women, what we call on the outskirts of the, society and networking, business networking, through organizations that are supporting women, they won't even be able all the time to join us because of their psychological matter, their mental health issues, physical health issues. It's still so far for them to join us for a networking call or come to one of our events. And that's really sad. That's really, really
too
sad.
big a step for those. I guess it does shine a light on the problems, but EyeStorm is clearly making a massive impact and a difference on so many people as well. And all of these things, it's about a movement. It's about a sense of direction, isn't it? And it's a continual journey and continual development. And it's interesting you say, there's so many cultural barriers as well and other things that are at play. So a massive challenge, but fantastic that this is something that has ignited your passion as well, and that you're getting the results and seeing the impact on other people. It's it's been fascinating talking to you, and I wish you all the well, all the best for the future. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.